Good morning, everyone. It is Throat Punch Thursday, August 12th. This is a look at our watch list. I am looking here at the indexes, and you can see that we are up slightly. The Dow is up about 30. You can see that this is the S&P 500. You can see that also that we have come up over this little shelf that we put in. We had this channel drawn in. We are now moving on up a little bit. Pretty small candles, but continuing this kind of melt up here in the markets, looking pretty decent. Bitcoin taking a little bit of a pause, coming back here. We're just a smidge below the 3, but after this nice march up, a little bit of a break kind of makes sense, and we'll see if we can turn it around and push into this gap. It's once we push into this gap is where I think I'll take a little bite off into some Bitcoin, potentially either Coin or Merit or Mara or Riot. Those are the ones I've been kind of watching. They're very liquid and easy to get in and out of. Okay, so let's take a quick look at some charts and see where we are going today. Have a few here that we had from our list yesterday afternoon. Every afternoon we come in and we try to scan and see if there's anything exciting. Not gonna lie, it's not been overly exciting. Why? Well, when we look at the SPY, look at our candle. I mean, I know, do you get your magnifying glass out? Right? It's so small. All of our candles have been very small, which really just says that regardless of price action during the day, we can walk all around the chart and kind of come back pretty close to where we started. Terribly aggravating. I feel like I'm caught on a monopoly board and can't seem to get off of it. Good part is I'm not in jail yet. Okay, so anyway, going back here, one of the ones that came out of our scan yesterday afternoon, and there were a few, not very many came out of our scan like we normally get, and it was Best Buy. That's right, Best Buy has earnings coming up. We finally came up over this point of control. You can see we kept hitting this level, kept hitting our head on it, popped out of that yesterday, looking for a hold of this the close yesterday and looking for a move up. It's about time. We built up a little volume. Again, that catalyst for earnings coming up as a potential. Now, not a ton of volume like we have seen before. But usually this doesn't get a ton of volume until we have some kind of big news events. And also, Best Buy can hit those meme boards, so keep an eye on that as well. But I like the 917 125s here for continuation and anything over yesterday's close. Another one, excuse me, two that came out of it was CVS and WBA. Okay, I like both of these. CVS here opened and pushed up above the 50, broke this downward trend line. Like this now for some continuation here. I'm watching the 85s, the 917 85s, whereas WBA looking to break that 50. So what we want to see here is a close or an open very close to this 50 and then a push and a close above. So keep an eye on that. They do have an ex-div date coming up, but for the WBA, I would be watching the 917 50s for that continuation over the 200 and then over the 50 here. Etsy was one that I was watching yesterday. I just want to talk about this real quick. eBay reported last night, so I didn't take Etsy, but eBay did report, and it will look to gap down. eBay closed right around the 50, and it's going to be below the 50 here this morning. Etsy down a little bit, but still hanging really close to this 20. It's just a smidge below this 20. I like this for a move up above the 20. I didn't set up the trade yet, but definitely want to keep an eye on. Home builders have been doing well. Keep an eye on those. Lennar broke the trend line that we had been watching, and DHI moving up. There is a smidge of a gap in here, and we came really close to that gap area, so keep an eye on all of those. One that we've been watching on and off, Snap, bullish gap, boring. Now we're caught in boring, looking for this move. Now, we did have this nice inside candle here from yesterday, hitting the 8 again, looking for a continuation. I like this above 78.30, and I would be watching the 917 80s on that. Airbnb. Oh, you know what? Never mind. That has earnings. So I'm going to skip over that one. I was looking at the 150s. Forgot about earnings on that. XLNX. All right, semiconductors. You know, we've been playing AMD, and you'll see that here on the list in just a minute. But look at, excuse me, XLNX. Nice move up after earnings. Kind of boring, sidestepping here. Watching for the next move up. I'm watching the 917, September 17th, 160s here. And I want this to be above the 150-125 mark. I want to go ahead and I want this to go ahead and move and break above this that resistance area there. I'm already in QCOM, but for those not in QCOM, like this look on the candle yesterday for a reversal, very easy to draw this line in, right? So we need to break that for an entry. If you are not in it, break that trend line for the continued move up. I'd watch the 150s in those as well. AMD, one that we keep watching. I am in this one from yesterday. AMD gave us a great big candle of indecision here. Ended up closing right about where it started, just a smidge green here. Looking for the continued reversal to the upside in that. So I am still in this because this did close above the opening price there yesterday. EMR remains on our list from yesterday. Look at that beautiful move from the trend line and push up. I am now watching the EMR, 917 EMR instead of the 100s. I'm watching the 105s on that. Check out First Solar here. First Solar, almost an inside candle there yesterday. You know, looking kind of like the rest of the market, wandered around all day to end up back where it started. But I like it above this trend line that we drew, and this was the trigger for yesterday as well, above 96.45. I would be watching the 917 100s on that. Wow, and Tesla, the unnamed, has made it back into my list. Look how tight, I know but it looks like I dropped pickup sticks on this thing. Look at how tight this range is. I like the look in Tesla here. I want it to prove to me, I think it's going to be a great day trader day. It's sitting around 709 this morning. It popped up above 710 there for a while. But for me, I really want this on a move over 715 is where I am looking at Tesla. So keep an eye on that. I'm watching the 720s actually. I know, I very rarely ever put out a Tesla trade, but waiting for that to break. And for a reversal play, I would check out Moderna. So this, I mean, really, what a march. Beautiful march up. 2 days of selling. Pushed up just a little bit here. I like the little level that it came into. You can see that this was a previous level, right, that we used. Hit our head on it, used it as a floor, jumped up, came back in. So watch just for a reversal in Moderna. They are very expensive, but looking, kind of watching those 400s in that. Don't forget, basics, steel, anything that has to do with infrastructure has continued to do well. I like these still more for day trades now because they do feel a little bit extended. But STLD, AA, New, Caterpillar, URI. Add this one to your list because, you know, as you drive down the road, if you've been by a lot of construction, URI, United Rentals, you can see their lights or whatever, you know, like all of the equipment that go with the infrastructure. So check out URI in this chart. Nice, nice bit of kind of quiet action, and then boom, took a really nice move up. Watch for continuation. Built up some great volume on URI. So like the look in that one. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Those are kind of my favorites for today. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. And you can do that by emailing me, heatherc@givingtreetrading.com, or you can hit me up in the chat room. We'll keep an eye on things. Remember, the look there in the SPY, our candles are very quiet, very small, which means we do a lot of work not to end up anywhere. And days like this, look for the absolute best setups, or just don't trade. Just wait for the market to kind of give you some more breath. If you are a day trader, you know, if you can find those names that are popping and moving, it's the way to go. But be very cautious because we do have so much chop that sometimes you can't quite get the movement that you need for the to catch those profits. All right, that is it for me this morning. I hope you have an awesome day. Again, if you have any questions, Heather C at GivingTreeTrading.com.